Hi there. So today I thought I'd talk a little bit about six of my favorite INFJ musicians slash singers slash songwriters you may or may not know already. And the first two of them are two women called Tori Amos and Vanessa Carlton. And they both are insanely talented pianists and singer songwriters. And yeah, so they have this in common. So when it comes to Tori, what I really like about her and or her music is um, firstly like her development as an artist, as she started out in the 80s with a band called, I think, Why Can't Tori Read, in an attempt to make some kind of, more mainstream music. And then gradually over time, I think, developed her own style, her own authentic voice, so to say, um, which I think might also have been influenced by some horrible things that happened to her personally. Anyway, yeah, and in her lyrics, she gets very deep, and they are somewhat cryptic or abstract often. And when you watch her live performances, they are always so passionate, and you can always see how she's totally basically becoming one with her music, or for example the piano she's playing or something like that. And it's really fascinating to watch. When it comes to Vanessa Carlton, I think she also started out as more of a mainstream artist, with her hit song "A Thousand Miles," and it's also really cool, I think, how she then kind of emancipated herself from that, and later on also uh, I think developed her own record label. And she she published a new album this year, which I really like, called "Love Is an Art." And while she has definitely matured, and you can like hear this in her music, there is still this kind of girliness or softness to her, that I really like. Okay, the next one on my list is Sufjan Stevens, and I just really got into his music this year. Like, for the longest time, I only used to know his album. Wait, what's it called?
Come on, feel Illinois.
Come on, feel the Illinois, right? And I liked that one, but it was not that special or meaningful to me, except for maybe one or two songs. And then this year, after I watched the movie I, Tonya, I discovered his song about Tonya Harding, and this really kind of got me, uh, starting a binge listening, so to say, to his music, or um, some of his songs. And he also published a new album this year, like last month or something, like 1.5 months ago, and it's called The Ascension. And it's basically, if I had to define the genre, I'd say it's spiritual indie pop. And how could something be a better fit for the INFJ, right? And yeah, so that's what I really like about him. Like, there's always this spiritual, or I'd say ethereal touch to his music. And he's also, I think, a multi-instrumentalist. Like he can play several instruments and is probably a creative genius. And yeah, for in his lyrics, what I really like is that he gets very personal, and he has this beautiful way, of, for example, of transforming his personal pain or, for example, childhood traumas into beautiful music. So the next one I want to talk about is Shirley Manson, the singer of the band Garbage. And to be honest, out of all the people on this list, she's the one I know the least about. But I just really like some Garbage songs, like some of their older songs from the 90s, I think. But most of all, I really like their two, 2005 album Bleed Like Me, and a lot of songs that are on this one. And why? Because I think she or they, kind of represent the more rebellious or wild side of the INFJ, like, more into into rock, or you know pop rock. So next up is the probably one of the most well-known INFJ artists, or maybe INFJs in general, and it's Alanis Morissette. And I think she has become kind of a poster child an for an HSP, highly sensitive person, as a musician. And her lyrics are so fascinating because they are so intelligent and self-aware. Like there's also always this spiritual element to it, like having different insights and going through kind of transformations on your spiritual path. But it's also just in general about, I think a lot of her songs are about the ways in which we relate and behave towards ourselves, if that makes sense, like self-love basically. Last but not least, an INFJ musician I really like is Morrissey. And I know that to some people, he seems to be some kind of controversial figure, as he's not like 100% politically correct. But I mean, who is, especially among artists? And yeah, he's just an amazing lyricist. And ever since he started with his band The Smiths in the 80s, he has created deep, heartfelt, and intelligent music. Like his lyrics are, I think, really represent the INFJ's ability to be extremely emotional and extremely analytical and intelligent. And yeah, just you just really feel understood when, especially, when you're going through a rough patch in your life, or you feel lonely, or you feel any kind of heartache. I think you really feel understood when you listen to his music, because most of his songs are about, yeah, the disappointments of life and love, basically. And yeah, so that's it. That's my list. I Hope you found it interesting, and as always, feel free to leave a comment. And till the next time, bye.